I'm Kiera Morgan. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Coffee with Kiera. We're sponsored by The Human Bean in Newport and Lincoln City. And today I'm excited to be here with Lucinda Taylor. She is the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity. Hi, Lucinda.
Hi, Kiera. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here with us today. You've got a lot going on, so let's jump right in. And first, tell us a little bit about yourself and Habitat for Humanity and what you do.
Wow, that's a lot to cover in a brief time. So I am Lucinda Taylor. I have been in the community since 2016. When I first came here, I was working at Oregon Coast Community College. I came here to be their Director of Development. After about 3 years there, I had an opportunity to transition to Habitat for Humanity, which was a complete change of career for me. I'd spent about 20 years in higher education administration and then came over to Habitat. There were a lot of transferable skills in my career with higher ed. I had done a lot of some fundraising, a lot of community engagement, administrative work, that kind of thing that really was applicable to the administrative and fundraising side of Habitat. Construction side, all new. So huge learning curve. Thankfully, I've had a lot of great people to work with, and I don't have to know it all. I just have to have good people who do know, right?
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Understand that.
Exactly. So Habitat for Humanity is an international organization. Mm-hmm. We are an affiliate, so we're affiliated with Habitat for Humanity International. We are our own local organization. So we need to maintain certain standards and things that Habitat International has requirements around, but we have our own local board of directors that gets to make decisions about how we do that, how we achieve the mission. So every Habitat affiliate needs to build homes and sell them to income qualified households through an affordable mortgage. And whether that's a mortgage we underwrite or whether we use third-party financing, that's a local decision. But the Habitat affiliates get to decide, do we do home repairs? Do we offer access to individual development accounts like we can here in the state of Oregon? It's a state-funded opportunity. What else do we do, right? That's all up to us. How do we raise our money? That's up to us to figure out and to make those decisions around.
Well, I was going to ask how you were funded. If it was just from donations, do you get any grants? How does that work?
So we try to have a mix of funding. We honestly have been doing a lot of our construction funding lately has been through the state of Oregon, through the Local Innovation Fast Track or LIFT funding. It's technically a loan, but as long as the home is in the affordable housing inventory for at least 40 years, that means if it's only sold to people at 80% AMI or less for 40 years, then the terms of the loan have been met and we don't have to repay it. So that's a really nice kind of loan to have. Right?
Yes.
So to meet the terms of that loan, our local board of directors decided that we would move to a community land trust model where we maintain ownership of the land. The home buyer then buys the home at a greatly reduced price. Mm-hmm. And then there are deed restrictions. They can only sell it to folks at 80% AMI, and that's for the life of the home. So we know that home should be in the affordable housing inventory past that 40 years. So we should meet the terms of the loan and have it not be repaid. So the other deed restriction on that, to keep it affordable to folks at 80% AMI or less, the person who buys it from us, they can only sell it for the price they paid, that affordable base price that we charged them, plus 25% of the change in appraised value.
So they can make some equity.
They can build some equity. Mm-hmm. Yep, through their mortgage payments, right? The principal portion of their mortgage payments, and through that 25% of change in appraised value, they can build some equity. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about what is needed for someone to work with you and become a client.
Sure. So it depends on which program we're talking about. For our home ownership program, our board gets to set the limits on that. We have a minimum 45% of annual median income, because what we've learned is that folks below that really, they may be able to afford to pay a mortgage, but then they can't really afford to maintain the home. right? So 45% AMI, and AMI, that's based on family size.
And what is AMI for those
of
who
course.
don't know? I know we live in a world of acronyms.
Annual median income.
Okay.
So it's annual median income based on family size, and it's something that is established by HUD every year. It's by county, so we go with the Lincoln County annual median income, and then our board has been setting the upper limit at 70% AMI in the past. We can go as high as 80, but we've been going with 70, so 45 to 70% of annual median income, and that's the gross household income before taxes. So if someone falls within that range, what we do is once we've identified the funding for a home, then we open up our home ownership process. We don't open it until we know we have the money to build the house.
Okay, good.
Right? And we might have it in our pocket, but we've identified it. It's been committed by various sources, whether that's the LIFT grant or state and local organizations. Like sometimes we get some funding from the city or the county or from one of the charitable contribution funds of like the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians or the Grand Ronde. We apply for funding from all kinds of different sources as well as individuals, cobble all that together to be able to build this home. We've identified the funding. We open it up and we try to advertise across the county. Regardless of where we're building, it's open to anyone who is a resident of the county who meets those income qualifications. So once folks have applied, we go through and verify their income. Yep, they fit that qualification. Now we have a committee made up of community members. So this does not have any board members. It does not have any staff members. They do have staff support, but the committee is made up of community members, and they do home visits, and they go and we provide them with some training and with some guidelines, and they evaluate what are the current living conditions of this household, whether it's an individual, a couple, a family, whatever that configuration might look like. They're looking at, are they overcrowded? Are there leaks in the roof? Are the windows or doors drafty? Is there mold present? Are there other safety concerns? What's the neighborhood look like? Are there safety concerns about the neighborhood itself or about the home? So they're really looking at what is the need. This committee then gets back together and they compare their notes and they rank based on the highest need. So they'll say maybe there is a family with 2 children and they're living in a 1-bedroom home and it has mold in the corners and drafty windows. They might be at the highest need, right? Someone who maybe a same family of 4 with young children, but they're living in a 2-bedroom apartment that's in a decent neighborhood and it's a nice apartment. It's not great. They still maybe need a more affordable living arrangement. Maybe the rent is super high, right? And a home ownership opportunity would give them some great opportunities, but is their need higher than the ones, so they rank based on need, current living situation. They then bring that list without any names. They just say this family of X number of people living in this kind of situation is at the top of the list. This family configuration in this living situation is next, right? That's how that comes to the board.
So they rank them.
They rank them
bottom.
top to bottom, and then they send a list with no personally identifying information on it to the board for approval with their recommendation. We recommend that you approach people in this order. So then once the board, as long as the committee has followed the right procedure, they approve that. And then we start contacting the folks and say, hey, you've been selected for this opportunity. Come meet with us. Let's go through what this looks like. We want to talk to them about they don't own the land and that these are the deed restrictions that go with it and all of that. And are you still interested in it? If they are, then we sign a partnership agreement. They agree to complete some sweat equity hours. They agree to remain in constant contact with us, that if anything about their financial situation changes, that they let us know. And then in the past, what we have done is we have then designed the home to meet the needs of that family that we selected. So
nice.
How many bedrooms do they need based on age and gender of all of the occupants? And then we design the home, build it. Our ideal is
now, do the people have some input into designing the home as well?
So we do take the floor plan to them.
Okay.
And what we basically say is if there are changes that we can make that don't impact the cost of construction, we are happy to make those changes.
So they get to see and have an idea of what the
They do.
layout will be.
And we have had where we're able to take two configurations and say, okay, these are both, comparable cost to construct. Which layout would you prefer? Right? So we do try to provide some input, although that is going to be changing in the future as we build more homes all at once. We won't be able to customize them to each individual family. It'll be more of we're building this many 3-bedroom, this many 2-bedroom, and we'll place people as. So our processes are likely to change in the future, but that's the process we've used in the past.
And do you serve all of Lincoln County? Do you have homes in every city in Lincoln County? Is that the goal? What's that look like?
Yeah, not every city. We have not built Nyahats.
Okay.
We would love to. I looked for land there recently, and there just was not anything affordable that was buildable, affordable to build on, right? We need relatively flat, utilities to the street, a place where we can place something. I thought I had found a piece of land, but it was kind of too narrow for our needs. So we would love to build in Nyahats. We have intentionally moved around the county. So if we build in Lincoln City, then we want to build somewhere else next. So if we just finished 2 homes in Lincoln City. We just sold the last one in January. We're about to break ground on 2 homes in Waldport in May.
Awesome.
We had built 2 homes right next door to those in 2012-13. We have homes in Toledo, Siletz, Newport, South Beach. We have not built in Depot Bay.
Oh,
I would love to build there too. I looked at land there too, but too much of a hill, too expensive to. The retaining wall made it too expensive, so we ended up purchasing a piece of land in Waldport where we'll be placing a 3rd home if I get the funding I just applied for.
now are these homes already spoken for? You already have homeowners ready to go in? Okay.
We do, yes. These 3 homes that we're doing in Waldport. The 2 that we already have funded and one that we'll hear about the funding at the end of May, we have already selected the homeowners for those. So one is a homeowner that we had selected somewhere else, and because her family situation, they needed to step back for a moment. We put someone else in that home because it was almost complete, and now they're ready to rejoin the pipeline, and so we're have them already selected that homeowner. So the next project that we'll be working on, this is super exciting. So we're partnering with Samaritan North Lincoln Hospital. They are donating some land to us. It's a little over 1 acre. And we will place at least 9 homes, maybe as many as 18. So you can see where our model needs to change a little bit to do that kind of volume. And so this one, what we're doing, there will be one additional deed restriction on these homes, in addition to can only be sold to folks at a certain income level and the resale formula. These will also have first preference for purchase will go to employees of Samaritan North Lincoln Hospital. And if there are no income qualified, purchase ready employees at the hospital, then it opens up to the general public, and we'll use our standard open it up and advertise to the public. And we typically go out and do presentations to let people know this is the opportunity. We'll gather those applications and go through the process. So the other lovely thing about this, we are hoping, again, the funding we're hoping to apply for, we're hoping the legislature allocates it during this session so that we can apply next year. We're hoping to be able to do some affordable workforce housing in addition to just 80% AMI.
Needed.
Exactly. It is so needed. So the funding that we want to apply for would be 80% to either 120 or 130. It depends on how the legislation makes it through, what the wording in there is, what limit the legislature puts on it. So we hope to, do some a mixed income with affordable workforce.
Awesome. That's going to be fantastic. Lucinda, that's wonderful.
It's very exciting. There's a lot to learn. We've typically done infill where we have a lot in the middle of a developed neighborhood and we just build a home right there. This is much more complex. We're right now working on figuring out getting a geotech survey, and then we have to do environmental phase 1 survey. These are things we've never had to do before.
Okay.
And the whole affordable workforce piece, there are some things we need to learn about that to figure out how many units can we do at that level, and what does that mean for our land lease, master form land lease filed with the county. Do we have to make changes there? What changes we have to get permission from Habitat International, because it'll be above that 80% maximum that they have. But you can get those exceptions. It's been done by other affiliates. And then if more than 25% is at that workforce level, you have to get special permission from the IRS as well.
Oh,
because of our charitable status. So there are a lot of pieces that we still need to, and I just learned about that piece. So it's like, what else do I not know yet? But we'll figure it out.
You get there,
right?
You get there.
We'll continue to learn whatever it is we need to learn and figure out all the moving parts and pieces to make it happen.
And you have something exciting coming up in a couple of weeks. It is your 3rd Home and Garden Show, correct?
It is our 3rd annual Home and Garden Show. So our first 2 were held up in Lincoln City at the Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Was wonderful, fabulous. We wanted, though, to bring it to Newport as well.
Trying to spread out.
Exactly, because we do serve the whole county, as you noted. We even have some homes in Otis, right? So we try to serve the full county. So we're doing it at the Newport Rec Center this year on April 26th. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we have 40 vendors, I believe, at this point, lined up. And a lot of them are housing related, with your roofers and your painters and your gutters and garage doors and your building supply folks. But we also have some other fun things, like there's an aquarium shop is going to be in there. So fish and aquariums. We have a permanent jewelry vendor that will be there.
There's even some things which I'm kind of excited about, because it's a family-friendly show.
It is.
And folks need to feel welcome to bring their kids and bring their family. And because of that, you've got some family-friendly booths as well, right?
We do. Actually, yes. We have a face painter that will be there. And that will actually be free for kids, the face painting. We have...
Just for kids?
Well, okay. I'll bet she would try to adults too. I'll betcha. Yeah.
I wanted to get mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump in there. I want a picture, though.
Okay. I'll get an otter. Picture of the
otter
that
would be too cute. I would love it. Yeah, I bet she could too. Julie Fiedler, she's incredibly talented. So we'll have our face painter there. There's a glitter gale, I think. And I have not seen her work, but I'm sure it's going to be fun for the kids too. We're going to have a craft table for kids and adults where you can make earrings and wine charms and things like that. We have some really cute little construction related charms, hammers and saws and screwdrivers and things that people can make into jewelry or that kind of thing. It is a free event. It's free to the public. So folks can feel free to come on in, wander, say, wow, this is some exciting stuff. Let me check out the whole thing, or just come get the face painted and go. You know what? It's free to the public. So come on in and join us and learn about a lot of different new, wonderful, well, not new vendors necessarily, wonderful vendors who are well established in our community and have been serving us for a long time.
And with that, are you going to have some information there about your incredible restores?
We are. Actually, our restores have a booth. So yeah, they have a double booth space. We're going to have some fabulous furniture items that will be for sale. In fact, our restore director has been stockpiling a few things, and they're going to restock throughout the day as things sell and the space opens up. They're just going to pop over to the restore, which is just
down the street,
half a block away.
So if you see somebody carrying furniture down the street,
exactly right. I think we'll use our truck, but yeah.
We're just saying it's that close.
Yeah, it is that close. It really is that close. So yeah, we'll restock from the Newport restore throughout the day. He's been saving some really fun items to be able to put in there. We also have silent auction and raffle items.
Oh.
So we've been gathering, each of our vendors is contributing something, but we also have some donations from organizations that are not necessarily vendors, but want to support affordable housing in our community.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are some jewelry items that will be there, some overnight stays, some candles and candle making
Ooh, fun.
classes, or I don't know if it's a class or you go and you make it's a gift certificate to make your own candle kind of thing. Trying to think what else. We were just talking about this today about all the prizes that we have identified so far, right? So gift certificates to local organizations, as well as some fun actual items and we're going to mix it up. There will be things that you can bid on, so silent auction, highest bidder gets it. And then there will be others that are raffle. You buy your raffle tickets, you put it in the jar in front of whatever it is you would like to win. And then at the end of the day, we'll pull some names. And you don't have to be present to win. We will call you and you can come pick it up.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to do a home and garden show?
It was actually one of our board members. Nicole Clark came to us with that idea. She said, I think our county needs a home and garden show. I think it's a great fit for Habitat with that home connection. Mm-hmm. And we said, let's give it a go. Let's see if we can, help raise some money to support our mission. And so it seems to be working.
Fantastic. And let's give those dates one more time.
April 26th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Newport Rec Center.
All right. Lucinda, is there anything else that you want to add? Tell us a little more about your Restore locations, because
sure. So
we want to make sure people can access the Restore other than at the home and garden show.
Absolutely, yes. So our Restores are open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have one located in Newport, and it's right off Highway 20 between the Bottle Drop and the Eagles. And then we have a location in Lincoln City that is right on Highway 101 on the west side of the highway, and it is between Birkenstock and I think it's the Catholic Church. That's right there between.
Where, just to give people an idea who've lived here for a while, where the old mini golf
the old putt and bat
building used to be.
Yeah. So it's 1255 Northwest Highway 101.
And what kind of things can people find at your Restores?
A variety of things. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. I walk in there and I'm like, what is that? It's cool looking, but what is it? Right? Or, we get a lot of furniture. So as folks are upgrading something, or maybe they had a vacation rental and they're now moving into it or something. So we get donations from the local community, and we do pick those up for larger furniture items. You can call our Restores. We're happy to pick those up as long as they are in good shape and something that will sell. So we have furniture. We have some building supplies. Not as much as we would like to have, but we do have.
So are you taking donations for building supplies?
Absolutely take donations for building supplies. If you have a bit of lumber left over after a project, we are happy to take it. There's somebody out there who can use just exactly that piece. There's always something, right? It's, this is exactly what I needed. So we also have paint. We sell recycled paint. So we accept paint and send it to the recycler, and then we also then purchase paint from the recycling folks, and I think it comes in 11 colors, and it's incredibly affordable. It's under $20 a gallon, and I've used it in my home. I have some nice colors. I love it. Redid a bathroom and painted in there, and it looks good. So and it's indoor-outdoor paint. Can be used either way, and then we have some paint accessories to go with that as well. If you have need of some little connector piece or a hinge, or maybe it's just a certain kind of a nut or bolt, come see what we've got, right? Or we've got tools, sometimes power tools. It's
really surprising, like Lucinda's saying, the little things that you don't think about. When we moved into our home, our heater vents on the floor were a hard plastic. anytime that you step on that or move or something, my grandkids were, it's broke, And it was a disaster. And my son came home one day after going to the restore and he said, here, let's use these. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. You just don't think, where can I buy metal heating vents? At the restore.
Yeah, you never know what we're going to have, but definitely. And lighting faceplates, I think they're like 25 cents a piece or something, right? I mean, and everything is incredibly affordable. So dressers and shelving and appliances, we get refrigerators and stoves, washers and dryers, from the minis to the full size. We don't get as many freezers as people might want, but refrigerators and things of that nature. So you have appliances, furniture, building supplies. We have artwork, all kinds of artwork. Or maybe you're just looking for a frame. You can take the artwork that's in there
you go.
and recycle the frame, right? Or what else? We have some select dishes and things in our Lincoln City store.
Okay.
We don't do that as much here because there is pick of the litter where folks can find that here. But in Lincoln City, we have a small section where you can find some different kitchen items, microwaves, toaster ovens.
Great place if you're just starting out and you need to fill a room or fill some gaps.
Absolutely. And it's also a great place if you're looking for something unique and special. We've had things come in, like one time we had this long table that was from Thailand, I think, that was all hand carved with a glass top and then matching chairs. It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We've had what was one of the more fun things? We had a liquor cabinet that was just a beautiful wooden cabinet that opens up in several different directions and a shelf that folds out this way and holds the glasses up here and then bottles down here. And it was just amazing. Fun little things. One time I found these cute little, they're supposed to be chairs, and they just have an X shape. They fold out to the X shape, and then they've got the woven seat right here, and they'd do fine for kids for a chair. I actually use them when people come to put their luggage on. They put their bags on there, and so it's smaller than a big luggage rack, but it works like that. Or put one next to the bathtub to put your book on when you're, doing a soak and you have reading your little short stories.
When you're in the library.
The library. Yeah. I'm thinking about soaking in the bath personally, but yeah, so you can use them for all kinds of things. They were so cute. I just had to have them.
So come find what you've been missing at the restore.
You just never know what you didn't need. I mean, we have carpets. We have huge carpets, like rugs hanging. We have a lovely, we got them from Eager Beaver when they left the mall. They gave us their carpet hangers. So you can see big rugs, little rugs, all kinds of rugs. All kinds of things you didn't know you needed.
All right, Lucinda, how can folks get a hold of you if they want some more information about the restores or if they would like to become part of your Habitat family?
Absolutely. That is the one other thing we would love to have is more volunteers. So folks can find information on our website. It is habitatlincoln.org. You can find out about our home repair program, about our individual development accounts. That's a matched savings account that folks can use for down payment assistance or for a home repair. You can find out about what our latest build is. You can find out how you can volunteer in our restores, on our home repairs, on the homes we're building, in our office, on a committee. There are all kinds of ways to volunteer and help support affordable housing here in Lincoln County. We need every solution we can find. All the different organizations that are involved in affordable housing doing each one of their bits and pieces. It's going to take it all to really help people to be safely, affordably housed. And we would love to have more volunteers helping us make that happen for more people.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for what you do and your team. It's very much appreciated.
Oh, thank you for this opportunity to share with you and the public. more people who know what we're doing, the more they can come and say, yes, let me be a part of that.
We're happy to share. And thanks for watching this episode of Coffee with Kiera. We are sponsored by The Human Being in Newport at 6th Street and Highway 101 in Lincoln City. On the north side of the highway, on the west, you'll find them next to TLC Credit Union. Thanks for joining me. I'm Kiera Morgan.